One, two, three. Swing it now. That was some mighty fine rhythm playing there, Katie. I love Christmas time. I love all the songs that you play at Christmas time. And one thing that I like about Christmas songs is there's lots of opportunity to play swing chord rhythm like we did there. So the first time we went through Jingle Bells, you just played like the basic bluegrass or regular old open chords. There's only 4 chords to Jingle Bells technically. But then the second time we went through, you notice there's something different. We started swinging it a little bit, and you started throwing in these substitute chords. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you how to do that, but not just for Jingle Bells. The point of the lesson is we're going to show you some tools that you can take to any song that's got these basic chords and start applying these swing chord tips to those as well. All right, so the first thing I want to do is, let's just say we've got a song that hangs on the one chord for a few measures, and you just want to liven it up a little bit. So we're in the key of G here. And so Jingle Bells stays on the G chord for 4 measures. So let's just play that up and down, that little movement that you do, and we'll remind people what it sounds like. Cool. So those are moving chords there. What's also neat about them, they're closed chords. What does that mean?
Well, we're not playing any open strings, so that you're able to apply these chords to another key. Okay,
there's no open strings, so you could just move it all about. You could play an A right now if we wanted to, or whatever, without a capo. Okay, so we're going to start. What's the first chord that you played there? Because that didn't look like a regular G chord to me.
It's the G6 chord.
G6. Why is it G6?
Well, it has an E in it, which is the 6th tone of a G scale.
Okay, all right. That's the first chord for us to learn today. So we're going to start out with our middle finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret. And then we're not going to fret the A string, but we're going to mute it. How do you do that?
Just kind of with this fatty part of my middle finger there.
Okay, so you just let your middle finger hang down over that string. So this is muted.
Like that.
Okay, then we've got our index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. We got our pinky on the 4th fret of the G string, which is kind of a weird stretch, but you get used to it. And then we've got our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then what about that high E string?
It's muted as well.
Okay, all right. So, but you do play through it.
You do. Playing all 6 strings, but you're only hearing 4.
Okay, so I mean, it would sound good for you to just play that chord alone if we're going to play Jingle Bells. Let's try that. Okay, so that would sound good, but if we wanted to create some of that movement, every couple beats we could switch up a chord. So the next one that would sound good to go to, okay, so that's technically that's a D7 over an A note. Okay, so it's important to kind of know where these chords come from. All right, so go back home and play your C7 chord. Most of you are probably familiar with the C7 chord. I teach it in some of my videos here on the side if you don't know it. Well, if that's the C7, then you can move that up 2 frets, and that would turn into a D7 now. And then you can take your ring finger and move it to the low E string on the 5th fret. That just changes the bass note. And all of a sudden you have a D7 over that A. So you got the ring finger down there on the 5th fret. Then once again we mute that A string. Then we got our middle finger on the 4th fret. Our pinky on the 5th fret of the G string, and then our index is on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then you mute that low E string again as well. Okay, cool. So that's just a little transition chord, and even though that's not a G chord, it sounds good played over a G if you're passing through it. Let's just try this. I'm just gonna chop on my. Say I was playing rhythm with you too.
Okay.
On Jingle Bells, and so I'm just gonna chop and play the G chord, and we'll see that it sounds fine for you to play that D7 over an A. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Good. So it sounds great to do that. So everybody else in your band could be playing a straight G. You could be passing through that, and it would sound great. Okay, so the third one that we went through, or that we went to, is going to, it's another form of a G chord, but it's just moved up and got a different bass note. So we're going to go all the way up to the 7th fret with our ring finger, which is a B note. So this is like a G over B. And then we're going to mute that A string with that ring finger. And then we're going to play our 5th fret with our index finger on the D string. And then with our pinky, you're going to play the 7th fret on the G string. And then the last 2 strings are muted, right? Okay, so really this is just a 3-note chord, right? But it sounds bigger than that whenever you play it.
You have some of the percussion and those muted strings. It
right.
makes it sound bigger.
Okay, cool. All right. And so, do you have some tips as far as switching back and forth between these chords?
Yes, a good tip actually. You just keep your pinky finger down. You don't even have to lift it off the strings.
Okay. Okay. So your pinky stayed down the entire time. And there's really not much of a change between that 2nd and 3rd chord there, because your ring finger stays down too.
Right. You just lift up your middle finger.
Okay.
And move strings with your index. So.
Right. Let's just play that again so you can hear it again. That sounds great. Now, we're getting ready to go to a C chord. Oh, what fun it is to ride. So what I want to do in the next video is we're going to show a really cool walk up to get from G to C. Let's just let them hear that real quick. Good stuff. Let's learn that now.
All right.